Hi.
Mute. Hello,
Hello, can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. How are you, Gerald?
I'm all right. How you guys doing? How's everyone doing?
Good. It's good to see everybody. How's your weather? How's the weather there?
It's just dull. It wasn't sunny today, so
Yeah,
nothing too exciting. But it's just dull. Birds are just scurrying all over the place, disturbing everyone.
I know,
just
right?
like
Uh,
just so dull. Yeah.
Nice that place like.
What do you say?
How's your side like? How's it going
Yeah,
there?
it's rainy. It was rainy. Like it was like drizzling a bit.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
about Rita. What about you, Rita? How's that?
I mean, it's okay. Like, it's not raining or anything
Yeah.
like that, but it's not that sunny, so
Yeah, it's not the sun. It's not cold as well, so can't complain after the
Mm.
weather's. Anyway, you guys are welcome. Yeah, so we have interesting topic today. But before we start, can we have Jaro, can you pray for us before we start?
Oh, okay. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Almighty and ever living Father, we thank you for the gift of life. Thank you for everything you've been to us. We thank you for this opportunity for us to meet again, to discuss and to learn from one another. We ask you, Lord, send the Holy Spirit upon us to give us the spirit of understanding and comprehension to be able to dialogue and enjoy the conversation we're going to have today. We ask this through Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Jaro. That was good. Yeah, so today we have a statement. What's the statement? University isn't worth the cost. Yeah, I think Rita has a lot to say about this, but I'm not sure. We shall see. We shall see. But before we start, I got a game.
I don't know why I don't
It's
feel
me
excited
again.
today.
here we go.
What did you say?
I don't feel excited for the game today. I don't know why.
Oh, really?
I
So you
mean,
don't want to do it?
no, obviously I can't run away from a
You don't
challenge.
have a choice anyway. I was just
Uh,
asking. It was rhetorical questions. I didn't mean it.
no problem. We move. We move. Just know my brain is not fully doesn't finish
That's
beating.
not an
No, I'm
excuse.
just putting it out
Gerald
there.
is trying to make an
Yeah,
excuse.
I'm just putting it out there. So in case you see
Just an excuse, Gerald. You're either in, you're either out, or you're out.
somebody
We are
cannot
not
play
taking
PS.
that. That's an excuse, Gerald.
No,
You're
wow.
here. So if Rita wins this game, then she won fairly. So if you messed up, then
You messed up fairly.
Oh my days. People are just so
you
mean.
messed up fairly. Okay, the first person already. 3 words. That's the game we're playing just now. So this person fasted. This person was involved in a fashion show, and this person was an orphan.
What?
It's the fashion show for me.
Or a pageant.
Beauty pageant.
Um,
Roots.
Delilah.
Oh my days.
Hi, why? How are you,
Hello,
sir?
hello,
Hi,
Jared,
bye.
Wadukwe, how are you guys doing?
We
Good.
are doing
We're good.
fantastic.
Yeah, sorry, I
Let's
just
get
came back
into
from
it.
Glasgow not too
Ah,
long ago.
anyway, we are playing this game. I'm conscious of the time.
Okay.
So, okay, so since you're part of it now, I'm going to say it again, okay? So I'm describing somebody from the Bible. So I said that this person fasted, okay? This person was involved in fashion show or a pageant, and this person was an orphan.
Yep. So
Yeah.
we should say the name.
Yes, please.
Uh,
Oh
I
shit.
don't know.
I know I know that name. I can't remember. Oh my god.
Not them.
Really?
Not them.
Shit. How can I forget his name? It's not Deborah. No, it's not Deborah. It's not Deborah.
So
It's
is this
Deborah.
person a female or a male?
It's
Oh,
definitely a female.
Okay, so what's the name?
Deborah.
Ah, is it
Rita?
Deborah?
No.
I don't
I
know.
don't know. I don't know.
It's
It's not
Esther.
the
Come
eh?
on.
Oh.
Esther.
I didn't know
I was
that.
gonna say that was the name, next name I was gonna say.
Ah.
Mm.
Next person, please.
It was not a
So
fashion
this
show.
person was first in something. He slept and was cast out.
Adam,
Yes, well done, Gerald.
thank you.
Jeez, oh. Okay.
This person was connected to Queen Sheba.
Delilah.
Solomon.
Ma-
Solo.
Nelson Solomon. Next person. This person almost got deleted. His bone was carried out and he married in Egypt.
Wait, what was the first one?
Almost
almost
got
got-
deleted. His bone was carried out and he
Joseph.
married in Egypt. Yeah, well done,
Oh,
Malayo.
okay.
Well done.
Oh.
Next person, you have two more people to go. So next person. This person married Abigail. He encouraged himself in the Lord. I cannot read what I wrote.
Mm.
Married
Imagine.
Abigail.
If
He
you
was a
cannot read what you
soldier.
write, then what chance do we have?
He was a soldier.
Married Abigail.
That
Yeah.
name.
He married Abigail. He encouraged himself in the Lord, and he was a soldier. He was part of the army of the Lord.
David?
Joshua?
Gerald, Joshua, but what did he say? Sorry. Rita, what
It's
did you
not.
say?
I said David.
Yeah, the answer is right. It's David.
David.
Yeah, this last person,
Married Abigail, really? Okay.
his wife name was Keturah.
Mm-hmm.
God changed his name, and God established promise with him.
Jacob.
Up.
Paul,
No,
what did
no.
you say, Gerald?
No, not Jacob.
What did you say, Rita?
What's Jacob's father's name?
Esau. It's not Esau, man. I went for Paul.
Jacob's father's name. Isaac.
Isaac. What did you say, brother? Paul?
I said Paul, yeah.
Okay, Rita, what did you say?
Moses?
No. Should I read the
Yeah,
points
read again. Read again.
His wife name was Keturah.
Oh.
God changed his name, and God established promise with him.
Abraham.
Jacob.
Abraham. See that?
Abraham, what did you say, Jacob? What did you say, Rita?
I didn't say anything.
The answer is Abraham. Well done, brother.
Ow. Who is Keturah, please? I don't know who Keturah.
The wife of Abraham, after Sarah died, he married a woman called Keturah.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm going to do unscramble the word. So give me a second just to write it. So just the first person to say it, just shout it out.
I have to go closer to my screen.
Oh, Lord. Sorry. Give me a second. Let me find my spot. So that's Htezanar.
Wait, can you come closer?
Yeah, to your
I don't know if it's going to help.
To your left. Yeah, this way.
I can't see you.
Yeah, keep
What's
going
that?
up and down.
I can't
So
see
can
it.
you write it down? Htezanar. Sometimes the light is not showing properly.
Just move it to your
Well,
left.
but just type it in the chat box now.
Okay,
No.
I should do that. That's a good idea, actually.
Put the chat box so that everybody can see.
Htezanar.
Anyway, so what are we trying to do with that?
You're trying to find out which word was the word
She
saying.
scattered the letters in the word.
Can you see it though? I don't know if it tests.
Have we put on the chat?
I don't think you can see it. Can you just write it down on your
Really?
phone? Can you just say it?
So
Wait,
put it again. I could see it, but then
So do you guys give up?
HT to your move to your left.
There you go.
Zanar.
And then the next one
Tisra. That's I know his name. I don't know.
is a place actually.
Even worse.
And then the second one, give me a
To your
second.
left. T
Oh,
Z
what's it moving up
E
on?
P B A.
So TZEPBA. There you go.
You're giving, my brain is not fully boot today. I don't
Uh,
like it's not doing anything.
So you guys don't get the
Nazareth.
one.
The first one is Nazareth.
Yes, well done, Gerald.
The second one is
and that's it. And this is saying that my brain is not booting.
I just then you imagine how my brain will be like when it boots.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's
What's the
wrong with the
second
camera
one?
today. Let me see.
You've given us two, right? Two words.
It's not even showing at all now.
Is that what's the first letter? T? Oh,
IT.
IT. Oh, I didn't see the I.
Well,
Oh.
ITE, yeah.
ZEPBA.
No,
IT.
ZA.
ZE.
ZEPBA.
Zebediah. I don't know. I don't know.
Is it in place? Give us a clue.
No, it's what you do when you give your life to Christ.
Saviour.
Baptize.
Baptize, exactly. Well done, Gerald. Even though your brain is blessed today, you're still excellent.
Thank you.
That's
No,
what they always
welcome,
say.
God, welcome. We give God the glory. So I'll give you over to Gerald. Gerald is taking us today. Over to you, my man.
All right. So,
Um,
welcome, guys. The topic for today is university. Is it what's the cost?
Sorry?
University. Like, is it worth the
Mm-hmm.
cost? That's the topic for
Oh,
today.
yeah.
But before we go in, like, just can maybe I should start with Modupe, right?
yeah.
So I'm sure I think every one of us went to university here. Whether here in the UK or wherever abroad. So maybe I'll just start with Chimurupe. What was your university life like? Where and what did you study? Was it stressful? Did it affect or influence your social and spiritual life? Just give us like a introduce us to your university life. What was it like?
Okay. So for me, or for me going for my university, I didn't actually go to university straight. I went to college first. Not because I didn't have a degree, but it has to do with some documents. So I had to go to college first before I went to university. And university was stressful for me because I had to work and I was working full time. I was working at night. So I
We're
didn't
working
really
full
know so
time,
many night shift.
and it was full time.
It was full time, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, and that was because they were charging me international fees in Scotland, yeah. So it was thousands of pounds. So before I actually went to university after college, I had to take a year off, to go and work for a year or more than that anyway, and
Yeah.
then continue to work after I started university. So I didn't really have so many social life then, but I was part of the Christian Union, so that was quite nice. Yeah, so university was special for me.
Oh, what uni? Would you like to tell us what uni you went to?
West of Scotland, so I went to UWS.
Okay.
Yeah, but in terms of spiritual life, it was fantastic because I think, when you are in that stress, you're like, God is your only hope. So my relationship with God was fantastic. To God be the glory. Yeah, so I remember I used to come to, to back to Edinburgh for choir and things like that. So I quite enjoyed that aspect of my university, but like in terms of university itself, it was a bit stressful. Yeah,
I can imagine working full time while schooling. That's
yeah.
a
I'm not
whole.
a person that sleep during the day as well. So
So,
after night shift, you go straight to uni and then come back and the light is bright. I can't sleep anyway. To God be the glory. That's a story for another day. So I didn't really have a great time in university. Yeah.
yeah, what did you study though?
I did biomedical science.
Oh, biomedical. Oh, nice. You guys doing all those things while you're working. You have strength.
Just
You
He's a
very strong.
biochemist.
All right, Rita, over to you. Like, what was your university life like, and how did it influence or affect your social and spiritual life?
So for me, I just like many people as well. I went to college first. So I was home for that first year, and then I went my second year in university in Glasgow. So I moved all the way there, and obviously it was different because it's my first time away from home for so long. Obviously, I cried because I missed everyone. But then I found like the Christian Union, so that kind of helped me like find friends who were like minded, and um, yeah, I enjoyed my life, I guess. And I was in my third year of uni. I was the event coordinator for the Christian Union.
Hmm.
So I just helped with like setting up and planning and stuff. Um, and I think yeah, I studied business, and then I did a master's in Glasgow. But at that time, I was working part time and doing my master's at the same time. That was not enjoyable. Like I lost a lot of weight just because I forgot to eat because straight from uni, you have to go to work and vice versa. And yeah, I didn't have a social life like that as well.
At
So
all. Uh,
I did, but it was just with friends from uni because,
yeah,
that's so yeah.
that's fine. That's fine. Uh, AY, over to you. What was your university life like? What did you study? What was your spiritual and social life like while you were studying?
Right. So I think I'm the same thing like everybody, did college. So I schooled in England, Kingston by the name of the university. So I did college for 2 years. So it was, I think in England you have to do what you call AS and A2, and then you then move to the uni. So I studied so I've got a master's in pharmaceutical science with industrial experience. So right, I mean, uni for me was good. I enjoyed it. My social life was great. You get I mean, clubs where cheap drinks and um, so many various discount. So, but that was only first year. First year was all about. I mean, as they always say in England, first year is your party life, and then the second year, because they always say first year don't count, right? Those days where the university was I think I paid about, was it 3,000 a year? Not obviously now. So they always say first year doesn't count, and then the school is normally 4 years, and then the masters was 1 year, so it's 5 years. So first year doesn't count. So first year was party time for everybody, you know. So I enjoyed the first year, but obviously, second year you have to get back to the business, and put your head down and then try to achieve what you want to, want to achieve. So yeah, that was it. Christian life, I mean, I have to keep it real, guys. I I, I tried, and I did what I could. I tend. I, luckily, what I had was my unit was. I'll probably say I could go from home, so it wasn't as if I had to be in the, you know, in the hostel.
Hmm.
So, or like I had to leave on campus or anything like that. So, but I went to church, um, while I was at home. So yeah, I had no issues. I didn't have that. I don't have that stress. I mean, I was working, but it wasn't. My work was part time, and when you have an African parent, as everybody knows, it was more of school, school, school. Read, 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 read. So
Hmm.
that's it for me.
You face your book. You face your book.
Now African parent, they will.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. As for me, it looks like I'm the only person that schooled outside the UK. My undergrad, I schooled in Nigeria, and my university life in
So
Nigeria
what
was
uni?
Federal University of Technology, where is in Imo
How were they?
State.
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
Futa.
no, that's Futo. Futa is in
Oh, Futo.
Abeokuta. Yes, Futa is in
Right, Futo.
Abeokuta. Futo is nowhere. And bruh, I studied petroleum engineering, so usually it's
Mm,
supposed to be 5 years, but because of the whole strike,
strike.
Nigerian university and
So
strike, there was even a time we went for strike for more than 6 months. We didn't even know what to do with our lives. We were just
Six
just at home.
months.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
indefinite. It's not like they fixed it. You just be on strike and you don't even know
You
when they're going to
don't
pull off the
even know when they
strike.
will finish this right.
You know, and it was a mess. I didn't, to be honest, I didn't enjoy my undergrad at all. I was skinny. I wasn't working. I was just in school. Why do you want to even work in that place? My
Hmm.
my school was in the village. It was just
Yeah,
in the
photo.
in the
Hmm.
in the middle of it's if you're traveling, if you're going to town, like if you're going off campus, the term we use is you're traveling. Normally, if you're traveling, the idea is you're going long distance, 4 5 hours. This one is just basically 30 minutes, but because it's outside, the school is like in a village. You're basically traveling. So my social life was, I was just there. I was trying to survive, basically. Um, Class school was just, to be honest, I didn't enjoy my undergrad. To be honest, lecturers are just anyhow. They come in here and then they be dictating notes for you. You're busy writing like as if you're in primary school, you're writing notes with my pen. And the lecturer will not even teach you anything. You just basically come, dictate note and go. Then, oh yeah, my spiritual life was, if I'm being honest, was just there. I think my spiritual life was very good in secondary school, but then I moved to uni and then it just came down. So spent 6 years there because of the strike. Um and then I moved to the UK, and obviously everything was just so different. The system is so different. The way lectures are being taken are very, very different. And everything was just so different. So initially it was, my social life was going well. Um but then COVID happened and we started having classes online, and that was just it. I only spent barely up to 2 months going to campus. The rest of my my master's degree was done at home. So there was COVID, there was lockdown, and obviously my social life just went back to zero. I was just basically at home. My spiritual life was just floating. It wasn't really it wasn't really anything. Um Maybe mostly because I wasn't, I my flatmate then was a Muslim, so no one, and there was lockdown, so I wasn't really communicating with anyone apart from family and friends I know from home.
Yeah.
And until I moved, out of where I was living, and they call of the lockdown, but we're still having classes online. But then I was able to like meet more people after that. So it's just there. To be honest, I didn't really enjoy both my uni, my masters and my undergrad. Were just, I listen to people and I hear their stories. Oh, they were doing this, they were all over this place, and I'll just look at myself. I'm like, Gerard didn't try. So yeah, that's just it. But then, the topic basically is, all this thing that we went through, is it, what's the cause? But then I think we need to start from somewhere, and I want to start from, what exactly, when you talk about university is a form of, is basically a form of formal education. But then we want to know, like, what exactly is a formal education, and then what are the positives and negatives attributed, to formal education. I don't know if anyone can answer the question. I think we have formal and informal education, right? So does anyone know? Rita, let's start with you. Do you have an idea of what is the formal education and informal education, and like what are the positives and the negatives in our society?
Well, formal education is that in like uni, right?
Yeah, basically.
Um, yeah. So obviously, I think it depends. It's a. I feel like there could be some strong arguments for both for and against
Yeah.
education in general. If it's worth the money or not, and I think ultimately the verdict will differ from person to person depending how your education life kind of was or how it went. Um, I think one of the big thing for me is that it depends on what area you want to go exactly, like what kind of career path you want to lead, because there are some jobs or some work that don't really require
Mhm.
formal education. So I think if that's the case, then you're probably wasting your money on in uni. if you're not really, but obviously, like say you want to become a doctor, like you need formal education. Otherwise, like who's gonna trust you with their life, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's my whole thing. There could be for and against, but depends on what exactly you want to do. Like if you want to become a lawyer, you need a, you know, like if you're having like a white collar
Yeah.
type of jobs, I think yeah, you do need
Yeah.
formal education. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe just to assist here, basically, as human beings, we basically have two types of education we experience as we grow old. And we have formal education, with the one we learn in the classrooms or in a formal environment, and then we have informal, maybe the one we learn from our society or from homes, those survival instincts and morals and stuff like that. And just, I think the major difference, just one is in class and then one is from our homes and from our society and environment. So, like, I'm sure one might be more important than the other. So just based on your own perspective or your own feeling, which do you feel is, you know carries more weight, in terms of being, in terms of us as human beings and as social beings? Modupe, I don't know if you can help us here, like formal education and informal education, like, uh
Yeah.
do you the positives, the negatives, like, what can you say about that?
I think the formal education and the informal education, they're both important, and they both have their own learning, or the skills that you gain from both of it.
Yeah.
So I can say one is better than the other, because I think you need both of it in life to be this successful person that your parents want you to be, or that you want to be yourself. So I'll say that formal education and informal education, they're both important, and it's very important that um, children, or as a person, they also got invest in both of it.
In both
So
of
that's what I
them.
say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm.
AY, do you agree in formal education and informal education?
I mean, absolutely. As everybody has said, formal is classroom, as you said. Somebody impacting knowledge based on something to you, and informal is what you learn from home, or I normally call it street smart. Environment. um, so as Modigba said, or everybody said, you have to combine the both, because your formal will only get you to a certain level, and that informal will have to take place, because at the end of the day, whatever you are, you're going to be surrounded by environment. Whatever you are, people are going to be try to want to play smart or whatever, so you have to be ready. It doesn't mean because you're intelligent or you're smart in terms of you've got brains, but you still have to understand the concept of the street smart, I'll say, or the informal education. But it's like life, isn't it? You got to be balanced, and that's what I call balanced, which is formal and informal.
Okay. But then, like, I mean, a lot of people survive um, without formal education,
Absolutely.
especially in the olden days, during the early Christians. Most of them were illiterates. They didn't go to school, they didn't know how to read, but then they were doing, good things. They were doing big things. They were passing the message of, Christ to, other people, to the Gentiles. And, not all of them could read. And that's why a lot of people started investing in painting and, drawing diagrams to help teach people. So, but then, the point is, they survived without formal education, and not just them, other people as well. So, I mean, don't you feel like, one can live a normal life without being, formally educated, like being an illiterate, but you can still rely on the education you got outside the school environment to survive and to actually make money, like we've seen a lot of billionaires. Let me not say a lot, but some of them didn't go to uni. Some of them didn't even go to school. They just stayed at home and they invented stuff that are spending thousands of pounds and dollars are using, to survive. So is there not some form of, I don't know how to put it. It's not somehow. to say that they are both equally important when there was a time when formal education was not really that important. I don't know if you get what I mean.
I think it depends because, like, I see what you mean, but I feel like a lot of people, even though they haven't done like formal education, obviously there's like now billionaires, but their environment was different than other people. I think you have to understand the environment that you're in. Maybe their, say, fathers were rich, or like they didn't really worry about money. I think a lot of people tend to think or do believe that you have to go to uni in order to get a good job
Hmm.
and all of that, especially if you don't have anyone in your family who hasn't gone through that for formal education. So everyone's depending on you to.
Yeah,
But at the same time, other people have like famous or you know billionaires family who don't really care about formal education because they're kind of made of money, if that makes sense.
yeah, yeah. I agree with you. Does anyone else want
Man,
to say something? Yeah,
I would
AY.
say,
absolutely.
I would say
Okay.
the one you said, Jaro, was quite interesting. But you have to understand that the era those people were then, like those people who were not educated, is different from the era we are in now. I think now, like Richard was saying, that if you want to become a doctor or a lawyer or this kind of thing, you need to have those formal education. That's quite important. But now, I actually going to retract what I said earlier. Now, looking at it, I would say that informal education should be like 60%, whereas formal education should be 40%, but with specificity. Sorry, like
We
specificity.
allowed that
Yeah,
word. We allowed.
like you have to be like specific with your
Yeah,
formal education. You can't just go to university just for the sake of everybody's going to university.
I
Like
agree.
what Rita said when we are discussing the peer pressure, just because your friends are doing it, due to your own today. So that if you're going to go for formal education, you have to be specific about it, like be intentional about your learning and what you're going there for, like what you are going to university to learn. So that's what I would say to that. I
Mm,
think Brother was going to say something.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna go line with everybody. I mean, I think you guys have touched on the point. Now we need to understand, that environment again plays a big part,
Yeah.
and the way that our parents or whatever. Remember, we all, I mean, all of us here are Africans, aren't we? And it's what they know, isn't it, or the way they've been brought up, or the surrounding they are in that tells them to. So for me, environment plays a big part in that. And touching on Rita's point, where if you're in an environment where, I mean, again, if you look at all these royal people, right? They're already prepping them. And I'll tell you what, right, guys, right? I know friends that go to private school here, even with their kids. And what they're trying to do. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
All
Yeah.
right, it seems I'm not seeing anybody. All right, I know the kids here that go to private school, right? And you can see the difference straight away
Mm.
compared to even the people that go to public school, right?
Mm.
You can tell the difference already, the way they do, their behavior and everything, right? Now, obviously that's going to have an impact on their informal life, right?
Yeah.
In a certain way. Also, when you go to the informal, you have to, obviously, I normally always say street smart, which Africa is probably going to teach you more of that. Because here it's all, do you know what I mean? Everything is all law, do a certain way, Cajuns, it's not really. So I think it's very, very, it is key. But ultimately, for me, again, as Murupe has rightly said, the era is important. What was happening 30 years ago is not what is happening now.
Yeah.
I can always say technology has showed you that you don't need to anymore. You look at certain things now, you'd be like, why did I even do that?
Mm.
Uh-huh.
That's
You'd be
true. Yeah.
like, why was I even doing that? But it wasn't when you were growing up, or it wasn't, technology has not advanced to that. So there's a lot of external factors that plays a big impact even on our life in general. So not talk less of education. I mean, who would know that there'll be COVID and they will be able to teach you at home when you're doing the school? Let's be honest. Huh? You would never have thought about it. Huh?
That's true.
that teachers will be able to teach you virtually. Because we're all used to the traditional way, which is classroom.
Yeah.
So it just for me, it's just as time moves on, you just move with time. I think that's what I can. But I have to agree with both what Rita and Muduba has I said as well.
Okay. Okay. Nice one, guys. Nice one. So just picking up from where AY stopped. Um. So I know the topic is basically is university what the cost, and I'm trying to come with the angle whereby university is a formal education, and we're not just going to stop at university alone, but we're still going to talk majorly on university. But before we go into that, basically, can there are certain a lot of cultures, a lot of parts, or many parts of the world where they are rejecting formal education. You understand? Um, and then we have to step back and look at what are the benefits, or what not. Let's not look at the benefit. We've seen the benefit, but then what's the other side of formal education? Like AY said, we've gone so far in technology, right? And technology came from formal education. A lot of people that have built certain stuff for the world for us to move forward with, us to use and make life for a lot of technology that made our lives easier. Came from people that studied, you know, studied these things in school. But then there's still the downside. You know, we talk about what technology has exposed us to, right? People are losing their jobs because of technology. Is affecting people immorally. Um, Also spiritual life as well. Some people will say it has affected our spiritual life. You know, so AY, let me start with you. What can you say? Do you think formal education has the negative aspect of it? Do you think is it something we need to seriously consider first before now that we already have these things that make our life easier, right? Do you think it's something we have to consider? Like this thing is affecting a lot of people negatively, morally, it's taking our jobs, it's affecting our spiritual lives, according to some people. Do you think it's something we need to actually talk about? Do you think it's a problem for our society?
I mean, I
And
mean,
how big do you think the problem is, if that makes sense?
I mean, I think that's a very, very, crucial point that you just touched on there, Jared. You know, for me, is formal education gives you a stepping stone. It gives you that stepping stone, right?
Hmm.
And we've all been in that place, right? They don't teach you everything. You still have to go there and kind of like sometimes figure out things yourself. Now, I found that when I obviously, my days in uni, they teach you the basis, and then you come out to the actual reality to actually see, what is out there in reality as compared to, the I'll call it the classroom. But I mean, to your point, it's very hard now because the way the world is right now, I don't see what the formal education can do to impact the negativity as they're saying that as campaign. But as you know yourself currently, if you use what is happening right now to impact the formal education, it could probably change the dynamics of the formal education in a positive way. I probably would say this, right? When I went to a church where then technology, I know, you had a lot of people that were moving with technology then, right? But they
Hmm.
didn't move with it. But now I can tell you they are moving with it because the way of the world, where the world is heading to. If you're gonna, obviously reach to some certain, population or we have to remember, right? The world is big, isn't it? Right?
Hmm.
And for you to get us certain people, you might need to use certain means to reach to reach there. So for me, it's taking that positive from the informal, using in the formal to make to have a sort of positive impact in the formal education, and you yourself, as you've seen it in COVID, as you said, you hardly went to uni, isn't it? You were doing everything virtually, which as you rightly said, it kind of impact your maybe your social life, your interaction life. But in a way, I think there's an adage that says that if you do things most of the time, it becomes an habit. And so it's a very, very interesting point. But I think it's for what I would say is that it's taking the positive out of the negative and making it positive. I think that's what I can say to that.
No, okay, all right. Thank you. Rita, do you want to say something about that?
Um, wait, so you asked like, how can we turn?
No, not how. Like, there's the other side of formal education, whereby it's exposed a lot of people to different immoralities. It's contributed to lack of jobs. Some machines are basically doing what human beings should be doing. Basically rendering some people jobless. It's affected people's spiritual lives. Some people will say, when they go to school, they get exposed to certain things, they get exposed to certain lifestyle, all because they want to get that formal education. You know, these are some of the negative side. So, do you think this is something that should, influence people's decision, or when they want to consider, you know, going to universities or schools and stuff like that? Do you think it's a big deal? Do you think it's a big problem that that needs to be addressed?
Yeah, I think 100%, because I feel like formal education in general, like it should be a safe place for people to go, or like, it should be okay for someone to feel, okay, I want to go to uni, I want to do this, so I like don't have to be worrying about, you know, certain what do you call it, like certain disadvantages of that place. So, but I don't see how it can change, if that makes sense. I feel like it's something that we just kind of have to, like, I don't know how to like describe it, but
Live with it or
well,
move
no,
past it?
in a way, obviously there has to be change, but at this point, I feel like you kind of have to take stuff into your own hands, like matters into your own hands. For example, say you want to be a doctor in it, like you can't avoid that at all. You just have to make sure, like the environment that you're in, make sure you have people who, because I think the best way for me, anyways, like what helped me through uni and all this, like temptations and all of that, is like my Christian Union, the group that I was with, because I was hanging out with people who were like minded, if that makes sense. So I kind of took that into my own hands, if
Hmm.
that makes sense. Yeah. So kind of, yeah, take matters into your own hands.
Okay, okay, fair enough. Modipe has just been looking so stiffly to her screen, so maybe she has something to contribute, and you know.
No, I like what Baraya said and what Rita is saying as well. But I don't think I agree with the statement like what's going on in university that is causing people to have a low spiritual, or it's affecting their spiritual life, social life, or losing a job. I mean, in terms of IT, that's true. Like as Baraya clearly said, there's some job now that robot can do it, so they don't need it anymore. Or like there's so many computing, so many machine that can
Yeah.
do it 10 times, million times faster than human being that is going on. And so I totally agree with that statement. But as Rita clearly said, I think you have to take the matter in your own hand. You have to be in charge of your own life. There will always be bad people everywhere. There will always be bad characters. There will always be bad practice. But I think that it's up to you when you go to university to know what you want, to know why you were there, and to stay focused. And as Rita said, be around people who are like-minded, like you. Because the Bible says bad company corrupt good character. So if you are among, or you are roaming around people who don't have the same mind as you, or they have another agenda for coming to university, it's just a matter of time before you become one like them. So as somebody said, you can't change those who are around you, but you can choose who you want to be with. So you can choose like the kind of people you want to be friends with. I think that's what I would say. And also I was gonna say that while you are like studying, I think every one of us had a job apart from you, Gerald, when we were in
My
university.
undergrad, my
Your,
undergrad.
your undergrad. Okay, sorry. So I was thinking that while you're at university doing whatever subject you have planned to do, like don't just be like other people. You always, I think in this generation, you always have to be like a step ahead. Like imagine in your class, right, as undergrad or you're doing your master, there is like 20, like I don't know how many people in class, like 50 of you in class, 100 of you in class, studying the same subject, trying to get the same job. You have to do something extra so that you are one step ahead than each one of your classmates. As the Bible said that Daniel was found to be 10 times better than all his mates. So you have to be like that. And also things that you can do is like you have to think about outside the box, like volunteer. Maybe go to a company that you want to work with in the future. Go to them. I'm studying this. What kind of thing do I need to do to get a job here? Is there opportunity to volunteer? How can I get involved with the company so that you are like they already have you in the record. You are there in the system already. So that's what I was gonna say. And also perhaps you should start something that of your own, maybe like start business. There are so many grants. I was looking at it on, like, even in Africa, there are so many grants you can apply for in Africa and both here in the UK that you can start like a business, something that you enjoy, so that just to end up extra money, something to put in your CV as well. That while you're in university, this is something you started. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Okay. Just to still on that same question,
Yeah,
um, let's not forget that if I was basically asking about formal education, so it's just not just the university alone, secondary schools, primary schools, nursery schools as well,
yeah,
and a lot of people, like some people will, especially let's use for example the northern part of Nigeria where a lot of people are um illiterates, right? And they will have the excuse that this education, this school that we're talking about, let me speak like them. This is school we're talking about, they're not my I don't feel my kids, especially my daughter, is safe going to a school, where she can meet other guys or other people that can, if affect her morally, like affect her spiritual life, or affect her, immorality, expose her to different things. These are just some of the excuses, because it's like a gathering with people from different parts of the society, and you don't know who is who. You don't know, some people don't feel safe, and they feel like there's no point. Why should I spend money sending my child to a school, well, I'm not even sure he or she will be safe there, in terms of, okay, what kind of influence will she be exposed to? Will he be exposed to courtism? There's, homosexuality, in the African sense, and you know, just different vices. That's just one of the, the
yeah.
places I was coming from.
I see what you mean. But as the Bible says, if you are coming from the aspect of a parent, yes, I'm going to talk as a Christian. I will use the word of God. I
Hmm.
said that train your child the way they should go, and they will not depart from it. Surely your child won't be, or your children won't be the first people or first person to go to that university and come out and be successful and pass all their exams. So I think it all depends from the home training. Like I think you mentioned something like that. Like if you are disciplined, if
Hmm.
that person is disciplined from home from the beginning, then all this issue we won't worry about it. I'm not saying that there is no bad influences from school.
Yeah.
There are. It's possible for someone to be influenced, but that's when you need to stand your ground. That's when you need to remember why you are at this university, and also the child as well. Is it there? Is it like, are you ready for that learning now? Are you ready to go to university? Because I feel like there's that habit of when you finish your primary school, secondary school, the next thing is university. Sometimes you may not be ready to go to university immediately after you know your high school or your secondary school. You may want
Hmm.
to take a year off, maybe travel around the world, work for a year or something, but
Yeah.
before you go to university straight. But now we have this tradition of like ba 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 ba. So education is like one after the other, one after the other. That when you're in high school, there's a lot of things that you're not exposed to. But when you get to university, there's all these new experiences. And sometimes you may lose your way, because of like, oh, what's that? What's this? I've never done it before. Oh, how do you do this? All these kind of drugs, alcohol, things like that. As brother you're
Yeah.
saying, everything is free. So you are at liberty, you live home as well. You have that temptations all around you, and it's so easy to fall into it. But I feel like if you take a year off, you mean not for everybody. Some people love education, they like going to school, to work, to see other aspects of life, or to travel. If you have the money and your parents are able to sponsor you, do that before you go to university. Or even when you're going to go to university, make sure that it's a subject that you are interested in, something that you want to research, something you want to learn more about. But now we go to university to get a job. It's not that because, oh, I want to learn about business, but you go to university to make sure that at the end of it, whatever certificate I will get, whatever degree I will get, I'll pass, and I'll be able to get a job with that thing. So, which sometimes is quite tricky, Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you on that bit, whereby obviously there's, like, for example, like what's happening in America right now about trying to, I think that they've already passed the bill to kind of banned, is it banned or something to do with, teaching, like is it, what was it, like homosexuality kind of topics in school. And obviously
Okay.
a lot of parents were worried that why are they being taught at this young age about this, because obviously now the kids are coming home asking them questions, like
Mm-hmm.
it's like they're maybe being brainwashed. And I feel like it's something that, yeah, you it's good that they took that seriously with law and everything, but at the same time there's still kids who are going to talk about it in school. They're still going to be exposed to it anyhow, so you just kind of
Yeah.
have to have discipline. And at the end of the day, that's how the real world is.
Yeah.
Some stuff that you cannot control, like, at all. Even you as a parent, like there's some stuff with your kids, like they go to school, you don't know what's happening with them, you don't know what they're getting taught, you don't know what,
Yeah.
what they're doing. So that whole discipline from the beginning, I think that's very important, to teach them how to stand up for themselves, or what you want, your values, your disciplines, like you stick to that, and if this happens, then learn how to deal with it in your own way, or in the way of God, if you're brought up as a Christian,
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I agree. All right. Moving forward. So my next question basically is, why are universities expensive, especially in this part of the world? Like here in the UK, I'm sure that all of us that went to uni here in the UK, I'm sure none of us paid nothing less than 13 to 14,000 pounds per year, nothing less. So, and my question is, like, why is it expensive? High school both here and in Nigeria, and in Nigeria is not that, like, we don't pay. This is almost times 10 of what we pay in Nigeria, or if not times 100. And we're
Yeah.
basically, we might not be getting the exact same quality, but then they're still teaching us almost the same thing. So, like, my question is, like, why is it that expensive in here in the
Yeah.
UK?
I'm conscious of the time, so let's
Yeah.
be. Yeah. So Rita, do you want to go?
For I don't think I'm the best person to answer this. All my education was free. um, but I do understand, yes, in England especially, because in Scotland, like, university is free, especially if you are a resident, or you've been here for 3 years,
Mm,
or more. I think they've changed it, probably. I don't know. But for in England, for example, obviously you have to pay. Like my sister, she went to uni in England and she paid like 9 grand for each year.
mm.
Um, and I think it's expensive, especially for even international students, because I don't know, maybe quality, like the university are trying to provide a very good quality of. Are you saying no? Yeah, I'm not the best person to speak on this, because
I
my
think I can say, like, I don't understand why it's so expensive for international students, but there are so many grants and Commonwealth scholarship that people can get to come and study here from Africa, or in this country. And also, yeah, I think I was discussing this with Gerald, that the money that international students have to pay, and is ridiculous. Honestly,
Mm.
it's too much. And also the time they give you to work as well. I think it's like 20 hours per week,
20
isn't
hours
it?
per week.
20 hours, like, and you have rent to pay. So basically, what they're trying to say is that only the rich can
Only the
come here
rich
to
can go to
study.
school.
Only the rich can come here to study in the UK or abroad because the money. I remember I got accepted at University of Edinburgh, which I was so excited to go. But then they were asking me to pay almost 22K a year as an international student. I'm like, even if I have that money, brother, even if I have that money by the grace of God for 4 years, let's say that's almost like 90K. I'll buy a house. I'm not investing that in education. I'm sorry.
I was
But
gonna
what do
open
you
one
have to say
business.
to
I can't laugh.
that?
Right. Okay. Now,
Yeah. You paid 3K, you said. That
yeah,
so
I
you've
paid
been
three
since
thousand.
1980 something or what's going on?
No, I paid 3,000 because then was
Ooh.
no right. You guys need to understand this, right?
Yeah.
Every country has what they are fundamental to. And I'm sure that I'm going to use the word Nigeria, as you said, Gerard, where you have a situation where in Nigeria the education system that you're paying times 100, right? Now, if you look at the value of currency of naira compared to pounds, you can't compare it. So let's put that aside, right?
Mhm.
Now, and then the problem I have with Nigeria is that if you have any foreign education, they will take it before even the indigens there. So that's I don't want to go into Nigerian politics and go into Nigerian issue.
Problems. Mhm.
Exactly, in terms of that. Why would you accept a foreign education more than yours? That's stupidity. Because when you bring your foreign education here, which is from Nigeria, to come here, they don't know it. So therefore, you're not valuing education, right? Here, they value the education. That's why they place it at high extreme. You either pay for it or you don't pay. It's up to you. It's your problem. It's your choice. Because look, you know what? They're part of the G7. So therefore, you've got to pay what? The premium price for it. So the whole point of the University of Education is, I have to tell you guys, it's political and it's political. UK is part
Mm.
of G7 or the G sorry they go or they call themselves G8 or whatever they want to call them, right?
So
It
what
is
does B7 mean? What does that mean?
so that there is this economic power that is
Okay.
called the G7, the G8. So those are the most sort of like the eight powerful countries in the world, they call themselves, and UK is part of it. Because as you know, the Queen of England has territory across just not UK.
Yeah.
She conquers every other places, not just UK. Commonwealth and co. But the point I'm trying to make there is that the reason why the education is so expensive, or people think it's expensive, because of the fact that they have placed value on it. And I'm telling you this, right? For me, and I'm sure everybody knows this. When you finish your education and you work or whatever, if you notice their brain, you have more better brain, whatever, retention than them. Why? Because you, as African, you've been in the hardship part. You know, you know, you've read in no light, no NEPA, no whatever. Huh? So you understand the crux of the hardship. Now, when you look at all the top surgeons, the top doctors, and all of that, they're foreigners. But they place the education high because they know that they carry that status. And this is why I cry when I see that Africans or whatever in the world, they don't value the education system. And this is why I cry when I see ASU strike and all of that. Because why the government in whatever that country is, they're not paying attention. Okay, why is Oyinbo not coming to Nigeria to come and study? Why? That's another big question. Why? Well, why not? Are you telling me that the professors in Nigeria are not brilliant than those professors here? Let's face it. Or the PhD holder in Africa are not better than them? Come on, man. Let's be real, right? So they have placed the education higher, and that's why everybody's paying the premium for it. And such is life. If you have a brand or you place yourself high, what will happen? Look at Amazon. Everybody goes to Amazon because of what? It's Amazon. I can get next day delivery. If Amazon tell you something is £10 today, you will buy. You got no choice. So it's exactly the same thing. They have that pooling or economic power to draw everybody. I'm lucky I paid £3,000, during my university before they increased it to £9,000. That was because you know what? you have what you call the conservative power that came on board. Now, before during my regime was labor. Labor are for the people. Conservative power are for the rich people. If you don't have money, you're on your own. They don't care about you or whatever. They don't care who you are. So for me, the UK system is. I mean, if you go to US, it's expensive. It's not like the education in the US is cheap either, or
Mm-hmm.
Canada or whatever. They're not cheap. It's still expensive anyway. It's because Africa has. But who is the most brilliant? Those people that go international, are we not the most brilliant people in that school? We are. We are, and that, and that's the reality of it. It's got to do with the economic pull and the power that the government and the system that works in that you know in that economy, and that's why you would think that is expensive. But to be honest, it's not. For me, it's not. If you look at the value of what they give you, because you are able to take their degree or whatever, and you can use it anywhere in the world and be successful. Am I right? You know, let's face it. If you take your degree to anywhere part of the world and you say you're school in the UK, what will happen? They will look at you. They will shake your hand. Say, "Good, graduate in the UK." You know. So, and that's the value
So
they
I
put
think
there.
Bola, go ahead. So
Oh, right. We've got somebody online, right?
Ma,
Bola.
Yeah, hi,
yeah.
Bola. Bola, can you hear us?
good evening.
That
Yeah,
looks
good
like
evening.
Modupe's sister, isn't it?
Yes.
Right. I can see the resemblance already.
All right, Bola, we're talking
Thank
about
you.
university. We're talking about university education. Is it worth it? Is it worth the cost? So that's what we've been discussing, and we're about rounding up anyway. But now, the question, the others have been answering is, why is it that education, university, especially in this part of the world, UK, US, Canada, they are very, very expensive. Some people are paying,
Hmm,
they're paying almost £30,000
hmm.
just for one degree. And that's the question that they're trying to answer. So I don't know if you have anything you want to say, Bola.
I think she's here to actually talk about education in Nigeria. Like maybe it will help us to understand what Bola is saying in terms of the value in of African education. So
Yeah.
Bola, you have anything to say to that? Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Evening.
Well, let me say, in Nigeria here, let me just say generally, education is very, very important. It's very, very important for a child to have education, but because that if there is
Bola, can
no
you speak to the
education,
mic?
you will not be able
Can you
to
speak to the
know.
mic? Can you speak to the mic or
Okay,
the yeah?
can you hear me?
Thank you. Yeah.
Can you hear me right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I am saying that education is very, very important for each child because if there is no education, nobody will know how to write or how to read. You understand? So it's good to have an education. But now, let me say in Nigeria, even our government, they are not encouraging. You understand? Everybody really wish their children have an education, but the school are so expensive nowadays. Imagine primary school, ordinary primary school, that government school we this supposed to pay them because government school is not private school. They're supposed to be the one providing for everything, both book, pencil, pen that the children is going to be using in school. Nowadays, parents will be the one to buy all those things for their children. In fact, they are even paying more than some private schools. You know,
Um,
that is not encouraging here in Nigeria. And let's not look at higher institution here in Nigeria. Imagine
the network is really quite
I
bad.
think our network is
Yeah.
messing up over there.
It's
Bola,
Yeah.
if you
Nigeria.
can, Bola, if you can hear us, we can't hear you.
I'm sure she will come back anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah. Go ahead, Gerald.
when she
Yeah.
comes back.
since February.
All right.
I think
Um,
she's back.
Don't worry, we can extend this. I'm enjoying this topic, so don't. Let's keep going.
I'm conscious of the
Uh,
time. Yeah.
okay.
So
All
just
Why?
right.
go ahead.
So
Oh, you knew that
just
you're going
because
to
of the
work.
time, just quick
Yeah.
question, straight up answer.
Yeah.
University education, is it what the course? Yes or no? Can just
No,
briefly please. Ayo, no. I thought you were
no,
just spending them just now.
no. It's not what it costs.
Well, okay, what about you?
Okay.
I
So
prefer
for
I prefer to
me,
use that money in my skill, to gain a skill rather than in education.
Wow. Okay. Fair enough.
okay. Is that all? Okay. So for myself, like I said, or like I said before, I'm in the middle. Education is important, as we all said already. But I think like if you're going to go to university, be specific with what is it that you want to learn, because it is require a lot of money. So there's no point wasting the money on learning something that is not going to be useful or is not transferable to what to a job or something like that. I think if you're going to go to university, that's what we're talking about. Make sure like it's a subject or a degree that you know that you love, you enjoy, and then you'll be useful to yourself and to the world. So that's what I would say.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Rita, do you have
Yeah.
education, university, is it what the cost or not?
For me, I think I'm the same with Madupi. It depends. I think, like she said, you have to be specific about what you want to do, because there are some stuff where, like, a lot of people that I work with, some are like managers that haven't really gone to uni.
Yeah,
Um, they're still in that position, and they kind of did courses, like courses that costed like less than, say, like £200, whatever, to kind of strengthen their skills and everything. And because they probably didn't know what they wanted to do in uni, so there's no point of wasting your money if you know exactly you want to be this, or like, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer. Then that this is the route to take, and the money will be worth it in the end. But if not, then you're just wasted money.
Oh,
I'll put
okay.
that. Sorry.
All right, Bola, we lost you for a moment.
So
And
you were saying something about the university. We couldn't hear you. Go ahead now.
we cannot hear you. We can see you, but we can't hear you, Bola.
Are you mute?
Oh
No.
no, we can't hear you. No, we can't hear you. Oh,
Oh,
so
no.
maybe you have to leave and join us again. I
Yeah,
don't
leave and
know.
join us again.
No, we can't hear you. All right.
Hello?
Uh, Bola, we
No.
can't hear you. We can't hear you. But if you can hear us, just kindly leave and then join us again. Maybe you can restart your browser or something. All right. For me, let me just answer the question. For me, I don't think university. I don't think it's worth the cost, because I don't understand why. In most countries, especially those in the US, UK, Canada, why their citizens will have one prize, and then international have people, students will have prizes more than twice their own citizen.
They need to
Um,
make money.
but is it what the cost? What they're teaching us, is it what the cost?
They need to make
That's
money.
that's the question. I don't see why someone would spend almost £20,000 a year, and you that money you can use and invest in one business, and then
That's what I'm saying now. They need to make
you'll be
money. Get it?
happy, but then still, for me, it's not what it costs. And then what they're basically telling us is university education is not compulsory. You can live without it. If they're making it that expensive, it's not a necessity. If they're not making it easily accessible, then that means what they're trying to tell us is it's not compulsory. You can live without it. You can live successfully without it.
That's another
So
way to look at it.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they understand that you need both. You can't have one and not have the other,
but it's so expensive
depending
already.
on where you want to go.
So, Bola, do you have anything to say before we go to our Bible quiz? Can you hear us? Can you speak now?
Yes, I can, guys. Yes,
Okay,
I
we can
can.
hear
Okay,
you.
good. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so as I was saying, so I'm saying that imagine the ASU strike since February now. There's like everything is just tiring. You understand? There is Joken now, my sister here. You
Yeah,
know, supposed to be in 300 level by now, but imagine
yeah.
she's still 100 level. You
100
understand?
level.
100 level instead
Wow.
of 300
Wow.
See?
because of
Hey.
price and all. So
Joke now, she's not learning work now. She know how to make up, she know how to make hair and do some other things. If not that, imagine here in Nigeria, education is not encouraging, but it's very important. We can't do without education. If we really want to get there, we can't do without education. Imagine our government, if you want to do anything politics, whatever, you have to be educated in Nigeria and outspoken. You understand? But yet they want their own children to be educated. Why others' children will not be able to get there? They just want to be there at the top. Even the school that they're supposed to be the one paying for, it's parents that are paying for it. They are no more paying anything, anytime. Imagine properly school in Nigeria, they will be paying like 20,000 naira per section, 25,000. Meanwhile, it's supposed to be free. Call it free. Okay, if you take your children to your child to normal private school, of course they will collect how much, maybe some, it depends on school. You understand? You take your child to a private school, of course you definitely pay. What about you take your child to a public school? People are not to eat save in Nigeria is problem, and yet you'll be telling those parents to go and be looking for money and pay for their children if they want their children to go to another level in public school, primary school. I don't know. I'm just looking for solution. I wish I am up there. Like I will sack a lot of them. I will,
Adibola.
I will remove all of them on. Just want to be there, and they want to keep their own children to be at the top, while other children. Because if we should get education, if we other children should get education, we fight them now. We will fight them. Imagine Joker 300 level now. She's still in 100 level because of the strike. And now they're not even saying anything concerning the school. They are not saying anything. I was even telling her.
Do you think it's easy to travel abroad to come and study here? Like, how do you think it will be?
Yes, if you want to come and study in abroad, it's easy. It's very easy. But the problem is that your own school fees is very expensive too.
So now, do you think it's worth the price? Like, do you think the school fees that they are giving us as international students, do you think it's worth what you're going to get?
Of naira, yeah.
Do I think if the price is worth it or what?
Yes, do you think it's worth it? The education you get from here in the UK or in other countries, do you think it's worth the price?
Let me say it is true that they are trying over there. They are perfect. It's worth it and it does not worth it. To see money nowadays is not easy. Things are very expensive. They should at least reduce price for school for people that want to come and school over there.
But why would they? Let's put that argument. Why would they? They spend pounds. They spend pounds. They don't spend naira. So why would they consider? Because your own naira doesn't have value. Why would they consider? They spend pounds here. So why would they? Let's face it. Why would they?
Well, they have. They have
why?
To. If their own children come to Nigeria,
we don't spend naira here. We spend pounds.
I know
let her talk. Let's see. Go ahead, Bola.
I know that you don't spend naira over there. You spend pounds, which is true. Likewise, we in Nigeria, we don't spend pounds. We spend naira. You understand? I value what I have. Yeah, that's the truth. Actually, the naira does not have any value, but I value it because it's still money, and it's not easy to get. You understand? So if you want to, let me tell you, in abroad, if their own children want to come to Nigeria, we used to accept them now freely. We don't put any instruction or anything, or we don't put any restriction on them. It's like, let me just tell you, it's because of racism. They don't like us. They don't like black, and they don't want us. That's the truth. They don't like us. They don't want us. They don't want our eyes to be open. People, like African generally, they are very, very intelligent and smart.
Look, we are colonized by the British.
I was saying as well. Yeah.
We are colonized by the British, Bola.
In fact, that's smarter than them. If we should have what they are, forget
it.
So
what do you think that we are not having what they are? What's stopping us?
The corruption in Nigeria is spoiling everything.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Anyway, Bola, that is honestly, you should have come early. You delay a bit.
We are doing
but thank you so much for your contribution that you've given us so far. I can see you're on fire. If I allow you to talk, you will never stop.
Honestly, man. But we should continue this. Oh. I'm telling you, man.
No, we
Why
can't.
are we
We have
stopping?
to stick to the time. I beg you, people.
Why?
We have
Why?
Rita because that's how the way it is. That's why. So Rita,
Fair
please
enough.
go ahead for the Barbie quiz. So don't run away.
Oh,
Hey.
me, I like this word. In fact, you know what? Let's change it to from 6 to 8.
Go ahead, Rita. Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's go to the Barbie quiz. I beg you. These people will not gonna leave us alone.
Right.
Oh,
I have 10 questions, and I'm just gonna
10.
yes,
Oh Lord. Okay.
and I'll just shout out your answers, and I'll pick
Oh.
the correct one. So the first question is, they're quite easy. So
It's
first
not like
question,
Gerard that you don't mind the professor.
Don't worry, I'm here.
Just you go and carry Bible, open it to Old Testament. Look at your head.
so the first question is, what is the last word in the Old Testament?
The what?
The last word in the Old Testament.
Malachi.
Amen.
no, the last word.
Oh, last word.
Yeah.
Amen. I
No.
know that's New Testament, but
Oh Lord. Rita, really? That's not easy.
How is
What are you
it, boy?
talking about?
I don't know. Modico is just starting to check.
But look at I don't trust Modupe. Carry book like professor there. I beg you.
I'm representing.
I don't know. That's a
guys-
hard one.
I
You guys
don't know.
Please be unto you. I'm just guessing.
Please be
No.
on to you. Okay, what's the answer?
Curse.
What?
What? Sorry, I can hear.
Cause
Cause
Is
First,
Really?
is the last word in the book of Malachi.
I wouldn't have thought about that. You see, at least I got Malaka. Give me half a point, please.
Everyone would know that. Anyways,
Fair enough.
questions. By which previous name was Paul of
Saul.
Tarsus?
so.
I said it first, please. Thank you.
Daryl said it first.
Thank you so
Oh
much.
really?
1 point.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That was an easy one.
Whose wife was turned into a pillar?
Lot.
Lot.
Rita,
I
this
said
is not
first.
there. Oh. Before somebody will even talk, people have already talked. Oh.
Yeah, so one for me.
Well, I got it first.
You see, now?
No, I said it first before you, Gerald.
But if you said it first,
I said
Good.
lot.
Lord Almighty.
Yeah, you said lot, I said it before
Hey,
you.
why?
You see?
Who
You
said
see?
it first?
Jada, I can't say anything because this is the thing I don't like. When is everybody knows the answer? It's problem.
I said lot first. Bam.
okay,
It's
guys,
a problem. Jada, 1-1. Oh yeah,
Okay.
now
1-1.
carry 1-1.
then allow me to finish the question and then you can answer.
Okay.
Good.
Let's do
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. In the Bible, who is said to have lived on a diet of locust and wild honey?
John the Baptist.
John the Baptist.
John the Baptist.
Gerald got that one first.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
Right. Next
Come on.
How many years did Noah live for after the flood?
99?
No.
No,
960?
No.
I said 99.
110.
No, 800, 700 or
89?
something. I was 700 or something. I don't know.
Who?
Noah.
Noah.
Noah,
After the flood, how many years did he live for?
50 years.
120 years.
300 years. 300.
Is he on 300? 300 something, I think.
It's in the hundreds, Rita. Give us a clue.
I don't know what. Bola, can you continue that?
Is it 300 something? I can't remember.
Tell me a specific number.
360.
330 something. I don't know. That was
I'll give you and Ayo like half points each because it is
Okay.
What's the answer?
350.
350.
What did I say? 360. Oh shit. Of course.
Mhm.
By the way, language.
So, next question. There are only 3 angels named in the Bible. Michael, which is lies anyways, but Michael, Lucifer, and
Gabriel.
Gabriel.
yes.
Oh Lord. That was
The book of Esther is unique because it does not mention which word.
God.
Correct.
Wow.
Wow.
Nice one, Bola.
It's me.
So that's
Was that you?
Yeah.
No, that was Bola now,
Now,
which is
now,
you.
give me
I
that.
beg, don't
Yes,
confuse
nice
me
one,
here.
Bola. You correct, sir. Nice one, Bola.
Rita, who said it?
it was.
That was Bola now, was it not?
No, I
Ah,
think it was.
no, that is my elder
It was
sister.
me.
I was it you? Ah, hey, you two
Yeah.
are confusing me. I beg you. Ah, I have the same voice. Oh.
Go ahead,
So,
Rita.
next question. The Bible was written in 3 languages: Hebrew.
Hebrew. Give me that. Hebrew.
Wait
Wait
now.
now.
Wow, wait now.
Let him finish the question.
Okay. The Bible was written in 3 languages: Hebrew, Greek, and what is the other one?
Aramaic.
Aramaic.
I am.
Yeah.
Oh Lord of heaven.
I got it first though. I got it though. Nobody should steal
Yeah.
my time.
Who got it first, Rita?
Gerald.
Let us be guided here.
Ah,
Well, okay. So next question is a kind of history one.
Okay.
Who made the first translation of the Bible into English in 1382?
King
King
James.
James.
King James. Oh Lord.
No.
King George.
1932.
1982.
1982.
82.
Martin
Yeah.
Luther.
No, sorry, 1382, not 19.
Oh,
1382.
13.
Jerome.
Really?
Amplify.
Jerome.
No.
Martin
Rita, now
Luther.
how for you?
Hey.
Do you guys, should I say the answer?
Yes,
Yeah.
please. Go ahead.
John Wycliffe. He's a,
How do you?
Oh.
Hey, Jared, I beg you. I beg you. I beg you. I beg.
last question.
1330, not here. Even before they bought our great grandfather self.
No.
So last question. Name the longest book of the Bible with 150 chapters.
Sam. I said it first.
That
I
was
said
me.
it first too.
No,
I said
that
it
is
I
me.
first.
said it
That is
first.
me.
I don't
That
want
is
to.
me.
Damn.
That is me.
To be honest, from what I heard, like you all said at the same time. So I actually can't
Oh,
think of it.
Lord. Okay, then 1 point, everybody.
I can do an icebreaker.
Okay.
All right. Why not?
Who took the place of Judas in the 12th disciple?
Bartholomew.
Matthias.
Matthias. Oh my
Of
God.
course, yeah, it is. Yeah. I would do play now for you.
I salute, man.
Of
Yo,
course,
yeah.
the prophetess.
Is
So
that
yeah.
it?
Yeah, that was
Oh,
Of
Oh,
course,
so
now
who
it's,
won now? Who won?
I wrote 5 points for myself, but I don't know how many points you got, John.
but anyway, your counting point.
Of course.
Wait,
This is a
aren't you
matter
the
of
one supposed to be
integrity.
taking the points?
I bet. Madam integrity.
This is
Wait.
reputation on the line.
Wow.
So I always write the points.
I didn't know we were supposed to write our own points. I thought it's
I
just
didn't
me.
know that too.
Rita, you're the one
So,
that's supposed to
you
be
know
writing
what,
the
brother,
points.
and Bola, you don't even need to worry. It's just between me and Gerald.
Whatever. Look at your mouth. You're not serious. Don't worry. That's what I'm saying. This thing we have to make this
Anyway,
clear.
thank you so much. I'm going to mute everybody now so that I can talk. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, for coming. It's been excellent. It's been excellent. So we're going to go now. Yeah. So thank you guys for coming to the show. Bye-bye. I need to look at the time.
Bye.